Hello, everyone. It is Monday, March the 6th, about 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and this is DelReyVAWeather.com. I haven't done any videos in quite a while, mainly because there hasn't been any really interesting things occurring this winter, except now we have a very interesting potential storm for Sunday, late Saturday into Sunday on our doorstep, potentially on our doorsteps. And it could very well drop a historic amount of snow for March in the DC area. So that is definitely worthy of doing a video. Now we're still pretty far out in this, and things can change. Models do change. But the thing that's getting me very excited about this is the fact that both the two principal global models, the European model and the global forecasting system model, the American model, are in pretty close agreement on this storm, even this far out. And that's always a good sign. What you see up on the screen is the snow accumulation map set to up to about 7 p.m. on Sunday this weekend. And it's definitely showing a unusual amount of accumulated snow for March in Alexandria in the DC area. It's in this area right now, right here. And we're talking in the neighborhood of about 7 inches by that time. Now, this is based on an algorithm, a fairly new algorithm for calculating the snow to liquid ratio, not using a fixed amount like a lot of people do, or 10 to 1 or 11 to 1 ratio. And so this is potentially, what we're looking at. If we do switch this to a 10 to 1 ratio, which is more traditional, it's showing about 6 inches or 5 inches of snow at that time. So I mean, that's what we're really looking at, is somewhere in that neighborhood according to the European model. And this is the European 12Z run of the model. Okay, so let's switch to the GFS. This is the latest run of the GFS, the 12Z, and this is set again to the same algorithm that we were looking at. It calculates a dynamic snow to liquid ratio based upon the atmospheric conditions at the time. And this is saying that we're looking at maybe perhaps 14 inches of snow in the DC area. I seriously doubt that amount, but it's kind of fun to think about. If we switch this back to more like a 10 to 1 liquid ratio, it's still showing up in the neighborhood of 10 inches. So I do think that DFS is overstating the amount in the immediate metro area. But it definitely is going to be accumulated snow this weekend. It's still up in the air, I think, is about the actual amount. Okay, now I want to show you this is another look at the European model, but this allows us to take a look at on a broader scale. Again, DC is right in this area, and we can back this up 12 hours to here. This shows the 0Z Euro model, and if you notice, the main footprint of this storm is a little further north than it is in the projection now. In the previous run, we were going to get a lot of snow according to the European model. It was more similar to what the GFS is saying right now. So this, these two models are going to oscillate over the next few days back and forth. And I mean, if this storm moves a little too further south into North Carolina, we could be looking at a fairly minor accumulation of snow in the DC area. So, that is the risk, is if this starts moving too far south, it may reduce the total amount of snow that we actually get. Again, if this starts moving a little further north and eventually takes a track more like the 0Z, we're looking at absolutely a historic snowfall for March. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is This is the GFS. Let me see if I can get this thing moving here. It's stuck right. Okay, there we go. This is the last 5 runs of the GFS, and it definitely shows also the GFS is moving the footprint of the accumulation further south, exactly the same as was shown in the European model between the 2 previous runs. So again, that's a good sign. That means that both of the major models have a good handle on this storm. Okay, now we're going to take one last look here for the, this is the Busket analysis of the atmosphere immediately over Washington Reagan National Airport. And we can take a look at the overview of national. And again, we show a snow period that probably may run from about 8 p.m. on Saturday night to potentially 2 p.m. Sunday. So pretty much quite a few hours of snowfall. Again, we can set the snow to liquid ratio calculations. If we drop this to a 10-to-1 snow to liquid ratio, we're looking, this is saying about 8 inches total accumulation. If we switch to max T calculation, it's close to 12. Cobb 5 is looking at 11, and Cobb 11 is looking at about 9.5. So again, I do think GFS is overstating the accumulation. I would not be surprised if we got as much as 7 inches. The statistical range, if you look at, not looking at any specific storms, but looking at what the average snowfall is in March and the standard deviation around that, one standard deviation would be somewhere from a trace to 4.6 inches. That's purely by statistics, has nothing to do with this particular storm or the model runs. So I definitely think we have a good chance of accumulation of snow on this weekend. Possibly this would be a historic amount, and there is the conceivable potential that it will be a crippling amount, where we would get so much snow that a lot of businesses would be closed on Monday. So, but that's an outside chance right now, I would say. Okay, I'm going to keep monitoring the situation, and if anything major changes, I'll probably do another video. Otherwise, just stay tuned to my Twitter feed at PatPend, that's PATPEND. And if you have any specific questions about this video or this storm, just give me a tweet. Thanks a lot.